Welcome back to another episode of FBI Season 5, Episode 22 Review, Torn. Review. Warning, spoilers ahead, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. For OA, this case was challenging. On FBI Season 5, Episode 22, he debated whether he could be a good agent and a devout Muslim when the team was searching for a murderous drug dealer. Particularly when he was working covertly, OA had to get used to the concept of betraying his beliefs while on the job. What gave rise to his moral crisis? OA discovered he served as a role model for a younger, more pious Muslim agent who valued his devotion above all else. Even worse, Val, who was working undercover in a bar owned by an Albanian drug lord, went unnoticed by OA. Because of an OA presentation about being a Muslim agent at Val's school, Val was motivated to pursue a career in law enforcement. OA felt responsible for Val because of this. He also felt a twinge of guilt for eating a snack during Ramadan, despite being a moderate Muslim. OA is aware of the demands of his job, particularly when working covertly. He may have become more pragmatic about the aspects of his Muslim identity he could still uphold while working as a result of his time in the military. Is this OA rationalizing his behavior? No, it resembles situational ethics more. Being a devoted person while hiding out in a jihadist cult is simple. When you're portraying a gunrunner, it's not so simple. Being a young agent who doesn't know what he doesn't know, Val already had a disadvantage. Being a covert patron in a bar while abstaining from alcohol has difficulties. That prevents him from earning the respect of people who are drinking or serving him drinks nearby. Later, he declined to place a camera in the residence of an imam. Therefore, OA had to plant it, and if Val had installed Haika, he would have been discovered. In the interim, Val failed in an attempt to persuade Tony, one of Shabina's goons, to buy a gun when he made contradictory statements about the potential customer. Val was unable to fire, so Scola was in danger from Tony before Brittany shot him. Val and OA had a conversation to ensure that Val was thinking clearly. He highlighted that in order to be an effective agent, he would have to act in a way that was opposed to Islam. Val continued to have the naivete to put his faith first. Val's zeal did make OA wonder about his business practices. When the imam had to be stopped, OA inquired about some of the paradoxes he had been battling. The stern imam did not encourage him in that regard, telling him to say 3 Hail Marys and don't sin again. Val did pass by OA and shoot Shabini in an effort to stop him from killing OA. Val then gave him a sly compliment by joking that he wished he could compromise his faith as well as OA did. Val probably won't work for the police for very long. Perhaps he ought to look into a career in private security, where the stakes are lower and he might exercise his religion in accordance with his conscience. Meeting Val motivated OA to return to his mosque, where he prayed to improve as a Muslim. Fortunately, OA's internal discussion didn't prevent the squad from searching for the supplier of the potent fentanyl derivative that murdered 7 teenagers. Maggie and OA unintentionally entered the path of another investigation that was attempting to build a RICO case. Isabel placed the other procedure on hold while the team worked quickly to get the other operation because the public was more worried about kids overdosing on drugs. Val had previously set up with Shabini, the most likely drug dealer, so she was able to get him out of the agreement. Later, she and OA learned what a contradictory blessing that was. More frequently than ever, they advanced without Val than with him. Val should be commended for going back to Shabina's apartment following the Tony fiasco. He did succeed in planting the camera after dumping it, enabling the crew to keep an eye on Shabina's movements. Later, the camera OA was compelled to install despite Val's rejection did manage to get them to the meeting warehouse in time to thwart the drug sale. Additionally, Scola's decision to close the drug lab prevented that neighborhood from catching fire. Then that is a plus. Val's murder Shabini effectively ended the RICO lawsuit. But because Val was involved, the situation was more convoluted than it needed to be. Investigating OA's fragile juggle of being a Muslim and a spy was helpful. This episode also featured a different method for solving the same puzzle through Val, and it was indicated that the right solution was somewhere in between those two. The drawback was that this allowed OA and Val to interact while the rest of the crew vanished into the background. Maggie needed to have a come-to-Allah chat with OA to get him back on track, but it never happened, which hurt the investigation and the plot. Does the job require OA to make compromises? How unrealistic was Val's desire to be a devout Muslim and an agent? Did their religious debate interfere with the investigation? Comment below.